Hey friends, before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about something that I can help you with. Do you struggle with finding a workout plan, let alone one that can easily be followed and one that is tailored to you and your goals? Do you need help defining what those goals even are? Do you struggle with motivation, consistency? You have no idea where to start when it comes to exercise, fitness, wellness, mobility, any of those things. Do you have a gym or no gym? Can you afford even personal training one-on-one? It can be expensive. Maybe you don't have access to a gym, or you don't want to pay for a gym, or you're just super intimidated. That is no problem. I have a way to help you. I have a solution. You don't need a gym. Little to no equipment is required. You can use an easy, ready-to-go, free-to-you app. You just purchase the package through me, but it's a free app that you get to download. You can use it on a laptop, on a tablet, on your iPhone. It can go with you wherever. And you have access to exercise demonstrations and access to me as your trainer. Yes, you can still have a personal trainer. Obviously, since COVID, we've all seen this virtual stuff explode, but I have been doing this pre-2020, and I would love to help you meet your goals and find what makes you excited to show up and move your body every day, reach those goals, feel better, move better, live better, and not be so intimidated. I know that there's something inside of you that is really interested in knowing more about this. So feel free to email me at gabby.flater@getrootedinhealth.com if you have more questions, you would like to have a consultation, free 30-minute consultation. We can define those goals. I'd love to get to know you, would love to get to know your health, fitness goals, and give you a little roadmap of what that could look like. You can have workouts scheduled right in the app. You just log in every day that you have one scheduled, and you will see what you have ahead. There's no guesswork. There's no, what am I going to do today? There's no, how do I do this? It's all laid out there for you, plain as day. So again, just email me, gabby.flater@getrootedinhealth.com. That'll be in the show notes below, and we can talk about a plan that will fit you and your needs so that you can be on a better way to your health goals. Hey friend, welcome to the Get Rooted in Health podcast. I'm Gabby Flater, a faith-led wife, mom of 3, certified nutrition consultant, personal trainer, and passionate about changing lives. I know how frustrating it can be to navigate the health and wellness world. You want to be motivated to prioritize your well-being and wish you were more educated when it comes to cultivating a healthy home. Maybe you're a mom who's completely burnt out and needs a fresh perspective on life, or you're searching for a place to feel seen, heard, and encouraged in a godly manner. No matter if you're doing the dishes, getting your sweat on, or drinking reheated coffee while watching the kids play, there is always an opportunity for growth. If you are ready to finally take action about these desires and are ready to learn, grow, and transform your mind, then you are in the right place. It's time to establish deeper roots so you can enjoy a more fruitful and fulfilling harvest. Let's dig in. Hey friends, welcome to the Get Rooted in Health podcast. My name is Gabby. Thanks so much for taking time to tune in this week. I'm so glad that you are here. It's been a hot minute since we have just had a good heart-to-heart conversation about a good growth mindset, personal development type topic. And so that is what I want to bring to you today. And I had been reading a couple things, and I just felt really led to put a little something together to talk about pain, struggle, overcoming, and everything in between. Because I feel like there are so many of us going through those kinds of situations all the time. And it might not be you right now, but it's somebody else. And then next time it'll be you and not that other person. And it just comes and goes in waves. It ebbs and flows. And guess what? It's just a part of life. And it's all in how we approach it. We've talked about this before. It's all in how you approach it and how you maneuver through it and overcome it. That can either help set you up for success the next time a storm comes, or you still handle it the same way you did the last time, and it didn't really get you any further in life, didn't make you feel better. You didn't learn anything from it. You didn't grow from it. And that's not what I want for you, friends. I want so much more for you. And God wants so much more for you through the storms that come in this life. And if it weren't for the struggles, the trials, the setbacks, then you wouldn't have acquired such knowledge. Maybe you wouldn't have met people in your life that you've met, or found the resources that you've now have in your toolbox. Like if it wasn't for some of those hardships, a sickness, a loss of a job, a relationship that you're grieving, death, whatever, pain in your, if you have like an injury or pain, or you got injured in a sport or whatever, if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have sought out how to find the solution for that, right? Like you wouldn't have, if you've never had a sprained ankle before, why would you even bother like finding ways to get it to be better? Like if you've never had a broken ankle or a sprained ankle or whatever, there would be no reason for you to search out resources and people and help and things to acquire to help you heal, right? Right. So just keep that in mind as we go through this, because pain forces us to pay attention. I just heard that again today on something I was listening to, and I just only confirmed that we should just have this conversation. Pain forces us to pay attention. It causes us to seek out solution, to seek change, and to not let it get the best of you. So often we can look at struggles, hardships in our life as why me type mentality, or poor me, or of course this happened to me. And we gotta just stop. We gotta stop speaking like that to ourselves. They're gonna happen, and it's not a poor me, it's not a why me, or of course this happens, okay? You gotta fight that, because you're gonna become apathetic towards those things. You're gonna become depressive about it all. You're just gonna become very numb. And I get it, I really do. I've gone through my fair share of things where you just are like, I give up. Of course. But you've got to fight that, and you've got to realize that each day you have to live with purpose and intention and joy, especially in those hard moments, hard days, hard seasons, when you're just trying to get by. And sometimes you are. Sometimes it's showing up every day. Sometimes it just means getting out of bed and showing love to your kids or your spouse. And just being that. It doesn't mean you have to be 100% in every area of life, but you've got to show up. You've got to find what's going to give you purpose for that day, despite the pain, the trials, the setbacks, whatever. And again, sometimes you are just in that low place, but you can't stay there, okay? That's what I'm encouraging you here, is you can't stay in that place for the entirety of that storm. You have to allow for growth and refinement to happen. We've talked about this before. I am a gardener, and I love analogies with gardening and life. I think they're just on point and super applicable and make so much sense. And I wanted to share it again, that where tiny seedlings, when you plant seeds and they start popping through the ground, and it also goes for when you grow indoor seeds, they have never weathered the outdoors. So let's talk about that. When you start indoor seeds, you are giving them a known environment, a safe home. They are protected. But that's not going to do them any good until you start to expose them slowly to the outdoor world where they're going to live for the rest of their life. Okay? So you have to slowly, once they get big enough, you need to slowly introduce them to the wind, to the changing temperatures, to the sun, and a little rain, and maybe a little bug or animal comes by, like all these things. They need to be exposed. So you're going to start putting them out there for a couple hours one day, and then even longer the next day, and then longer this next day. And before you know it, they are going to be able to weather more of their outdoor life even better once they are transplanted into the soil outside. But if you don't do that, they are going to be crushed. They're just going to wilt. They're going to die. They did not have a chance to flourish and grow and get stronger through being put through a little bit of trial each day and a little bit longer the next day. Okay? And then when they're out in the garden, outside, they still are going to have to weather the storms. And guess what? That forces them to dig their roots deeper, to seek deeper strength and weather the storms. And they get stronger from them. And how much of that is like life, right? Weathering the storms. We have the opportunity to be able to grow our roots deeper. Get yourself planted, grounded. Planting yourself and rooting deeper means digging in during the hardest times and finding your way out. Digging deeper. Get yourself more of a solid foundation. Get those resources. Get those people. Get the knowledge. Get the courage. Your picture those roots continuing to spread underground, and all of a sudden you have such a strong, stable foundation that nothing will come and knock you over or pull you out of that ground because you are so deeply rooted. There's no way. Recently, I read about how in the exploration days of America, they would watch massive herds of bison graze in a prairie land, and they would trample on it. But they would move on after they were done grazing from that area, and they wouldn't return for years. Years. The neat part is that this is the cycle in which the prairie thrives. After they come, trample it, graze off of it, that's when the prairie has a chance to thrive. Hey, bear with me. So when the grass isn't eaten, when no one comes and grazes on it, tramples on it, it oxidizes and decomposes slowly, and it doesn't do much for the soil. But when animals graze on the grass and they come and trample it in an intense way, followed by a long period of rest, good things happen. The grass is like us. They flourish when they are exposed to healthy doses of challenge. Healthy doses of challenge. What an awesome picture. What a great picture, isn't that? But it also comes with that resting period. After you've gone through the trial. The resting period is all in then how you continue to maneuver through life. And then when you come and get trampled on again, you will be even more prepared and equipped to endure it, to get through it, and to grow from it again. And they're all going to look different. It's not always going to look the same. I can't tell you what's going to come. I'm not going to tell you that this is so much easier said than done. All these words, this is not new knowledge. All of this, I'm sure you have heard. But it's a matter of actually putting it into practice, believing it. A lot of this is easier said than done. I am speaking to myself. I didn't ask for a lot of the things in my life to happen. Death, some family relational struggles, a son with a bleeding disorder. Those are big. They're hard. It's not going to be the same for us all. And some seasons might last longer than others. And I just want you to be reminded that there is purpose in your pain. You just have to be willing to let it challenge you and change you so that you can be planted out into the world even stronger. Those healthy doses. We weren't promised a pain-free life, a trial-free life. Those are the small doses, the healthy doses of trial that will, in the end, help you endure more. Or better yet, be able to help walk somebody else through whatever it is that you've gone through or have partly gone through, that you can help someone else. You can encourage them. You can be that for them. You can share this episode with them or what you've learned from this. But I hope that you can walk away from this feeling like you're not the only one. You're not, trust me. There are so many people going through challenging times right alongside you. Don't think that you're alone. Don't think, poor me. Don't think, of course this happened to me. No. Buckle up, sister or brother, and just tackle one day at a time, one moment at a time, and you'll get through it. God's got big plans for you. You just have to allow Him to refine you and shape you and mold you and grow you, strip you down so that you can be built back up even stronger and have those roots dug down deeper. And again, if it weren't for these things, then you would not have had a reason to go search out a solution. And you have just then acquired more knowledge in your brain, in your life experience, to be able to handle and equip yourself, your family, your children, other friends. You could maybe save them and spare them because of something that you went through. Put purpose to it. Again, purpose in your pain. Okay? Maybe we need to not continue to dwell on it just in our own self, but look at the broader picture, the bigger picture of the domino effect that it can have, not only in your life, but then into the lives of others. So, that's all I got for you. I hope this spoke to you, this encourages you, this challenges you, lights a fire inside of you, as it did for me, as I read a few things and heard a few things that continued to revolve around this topic, and I started to journal it out and bring it here on the podcast. So if this episode spoke to you, I would love it if you would share it with someone who you know could benefit from this. Share it on your social media. Leave a rating and review. It takes 2 seconds. It's an amazing way to support the show, support me for free, and literally takes you less than a minute to do. I am so grateful that you are here, and I look forward to chatting with you guys next week. Bye.